Hey everybody, it's the 13th Wolfman, and you know what? Another mobile movie review. This week it's something really interesting. Not saying that the other ones aren't interesting, but this one has an interesting story behind it. The movie is Unsane, directed by Steven Soderbergh, starring Claire Foy and Jay Farrow and Amy Irving. And there you get a little cameo in there somewhere else, from someone else, but I'm not going to tell you about that. Basically the movie is Claire Foy the story is that Claire Foy goes to see a counselor about some problem she's having and gets admitted to a mental institution. I mean, that's really just the gist of it. Can't say too much more about it because there's a lot going on in this movie and a lot of good stuff. The cool thing about this movie is that Steven Soderbergh directed this film, and he used nothing more than an iPhone with a big dramatic, I guess they got lenses that fit on an iPhone, and they put this in a rig to make it stable, it's not shaky camera. There is no shaky camera in this movie, that's not needed. Let's put it that way. But other than that, 99.999% of this movie is, steady cam. It's all steady camera work. I loved everything about this. Amy Irving plays Claire Foy's mother, and she really looks looks good for her age. I was kind of surprised. It's a well written movie. I wish I would have paid attention a little bit better of who wrote it, because they did a great job. but yeah, I don't know what else I could say about it. I don't want to say too much because this is one of those movies I want you to experience. Everyone needs to experience Unsane. I said this to Mama Wolf. I said the only thing I don't like about this movie is the title, Unsane. I know that back in the late 70s, early 80s, Dario Argento did a movie called Tenebrae. And when Tenebrae was shipped over to the U.S., it was shipped over as Unsane. Now, I don't know if this has anything to do with that, if Soderbergh is an Argento fan, or, they just, hey, it's a cool title to use, but I just wasn't feeling it. I think they could have come up with a better title, and I think the title might bring in more, a better title would bring in more people. The poster for this movie doesn't work either. It kind of looks like a face card from like a 52 deck, where it's Claire Foy, but it's the picture of her up here and a picture of her down here, and they're opposite one another, and I'm like, okay. So the promotional part of this movie isn't that great, and I think that's why I'm only going to give it 3.5 chainsaws out of 4. I really liked the movie. I liked everything about it, the movie that was in it. It doesn't have much of a score. There's hardly any music in this movie. It's well acted, well directed. I love the writing. I love the style of the movie. Is it a horror movie? Because that's what it's being billed as. I would put it more in a thriller section rather than a horror section. This feels more like it would work with a Basic Instinct or Fatal Attraction or something along those lines, rather than straight on horror. But I'm not the one putting the movie out, so they could market it any way they want. It is a good, I keep saying it's a good movie. So like I said, I gave it 3.5 chainsaws out of 4. Mama Wolf gave it 3 chainsaws out of 4. She liked it. She thought it started kind of slow. That didn't seem to bother me so much. I just kind of like let loose and let it go, and kind of let it just flow, you know. One thing I noticed, and I didn't notice this until the movie's like 3/4 of the way over, is that the aspect ratio, shooting on an iPhone, the aspect ratio was a little off. It didn't quite fit the screen. They had like these 2 little black strips on the sides. They could have pulled the curtains in, you know, on the sides and made those black strips, you know, vanish. That would have been fine. They didn't at this theater. I don't know why. But I didn't notice it until, like I said, 3/4 of the way through. Mama Wolf, she goes, "Oh no, I noticed that right away. I always notice that kind of stuff." I don't know why. It was really weird where the scene was that I noticed it. And if you've seen this movie, do me a favor and send me a message and ask me where it was I saw it, and I'll tell you, but I'm not going to tell you here, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I like this movie. Mama Wolf liked the movie. It's 3.5 and 3 chainsaws out of 4, so that's a 3 1/4 chainsaws if you do the average. I say check it out. I think you'll have a good time. It's definitely a date movie, you know. So do me a favor, always like, subscribe, share, and comment. I want to know what you have to say. With that, I'm the 13th Wolfman, and of course, I'm on the prowl.